कार्तिक गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपाद शुतर शुतश्रीमार भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपाद शुतर शुतश्रीमार भक्तिवेदांत वाम विष्णुपाद शुतर शुतश्रीमार भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपाद शुतर शुतश्रीमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपाद शुतर शुतश्रीमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु महाभगवत श्री गोरक्षदास बाबूजी महाराज की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानु गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम आचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट विरक्त गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। जय श्री भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोसाई महाराज की जाय। श्री भक्ति बल्लभ तीर्थ गोसाई महाराज की जाय। श्री भक्ति दायित माधव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। श्री भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोसाई महाराज की जाय। श्री भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोसाई महाराज की जाय। All the associates of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada की जाय and all this की जाय। जय all of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's transcendental kirtans Nam Sankirtan की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। श्री रूप गोस्वामी पाद की जाय। श्री उपदेशामृत की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hopefully my internet is stable enough right now. The Wi-Fi is just not working. We'll do a shortened Mangalacharan today because it's starting very late. Yeah, so Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gauriya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanaya Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatanu Dritya Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdigahana Sukham Pradat Prabhum Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Surupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Surupaya Rupanuga Varayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Smara Gaura Gadadhara Kelikalam Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Pakshachara Shrinu Gaura Gadadhara Charu Katham Bhaja Godrumakanana Kunja Vidum Tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina Iti vigyaya devi tvang nayamang charanantikam Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay Kshiptashtakamaditaranga madhe Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna Vrinde namaste charanarvindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Rukmini Didi, Mañjulālī Didi, Champak Mataji, and all the devotees watching on YouTube and Facebook. For some reason, my restream thing is not opening right now, so I can't actually see who's all there. But I'm guessing Indira Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, and Raseshwari Mataji are there. And pranams to all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Ananda Pradayani Didi, Anuradha Mataji, and Vrinda Didi. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams. So we are continuing on with our Bhakti Vinod Giti Dhara program. I think this is day 11. And yeah, we started on first. So and we are going through the songs that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote on the verses of the first 8 verses of Srila Rupa Goswami's Upadeśāmṛta. And yesterday, Mañjulālī Didi, we went through the first 3 songs with her, and today we'll be going through the last 5 songs. I'm really sorry for starting so late today. My mic wasn't working, and then I restarted my computer, and then the Wi-Fi stopped working. Right now I'm on my mobile data. I'm not sure if it's cutting out, but anyhow, today's program will be a bit longer than normal because we have a lot to get through. And so just so you know beforehand, today's reading will be around an hour and a half. But if any of you aren't able to stay for the whole thing, but you don't want to miss anything, that's no problem. You'll be able to watch later on YouTube, because it's all being streamed on YouTube. All right. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams. I'll hand it over to you, Mañjulālī Didi.
Dandavat pranam to everyone.
Are you there?
Yeah. I don't know, you can hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Sorry, I have internet. I'm having internet trouble. Yes. Loud and clear.
Okay. My pranams to everyone. Majnanatimidandasya Jnananjanan Shalakaya Chaksarum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tatbhaktaye Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaye Priyatmane Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanithi Namine. Vancha Kalpatarvyascha Kripa Sindhu Vihaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So begging for the mercy of Srila Gurudev and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Rupa Goswami and all our Guru Varga somehow, that we can serve these songs, we can try to enter deep in the meaning of these songs, of these instructions, of these prayers. So yesterday we saw like these 3 first songs that are related to the first 3 verses of Upadeśāmṛta, and this is like teachings that are very necessary, things that are favorable for our life and things that are not favorable, so that we need to be very, very careful. But today we'll see the next 3 songs are related to Sadhu Sangha, and then the last 2 are related to our process, like very directly. So when we think in our spiritual life, actually the essence of our spiritual life is the association of sadhus. Like only by mercy of Vaishnavas, only by the association of Vaishnavas is that we will be able to actually develop this mood of service. We will be able to actually learn how to properly serve the Lord, like how to, and by their mercy we'll be able to develop that that devotion for the Lord, even though we have this devotion is inherent to us, but it's by their mercy that this can flourish. Without the mercy of Vaishnavas, it's just impossible. Like the key of our spiritual life is really sadhusanga. Like Bhakti Rakshakshya Goswami used to say, like the guidance of Vaishnavas, this is our only hope. Like really our most important thing is sadhusanga. So sadhusanga need to be very proper. So that's why Srila Rupa Goswami give 3 verses to make us understand that how should be our sadhusanga, how we should be our association with Vaishnavas in such a way that can be like the most helpful for our spiritual life. And this is like really, really, really important. So Srila Rupa Goswami Pada says like for when we're speaking about association with sadhus, there is this sajatiya snigde, sadhu sangha svatobare. So sajatiya is someone who is in the same mood that I am aspiring for. Snigde, that there is like this affectionate relationship, and svatobare, that is very much elevated than me. So, and for actually entering in association with Vaishnavas, they need to be affection. They need to be a close relationship. They need to be like a connection there. So this first, like this verse 4, this song 4, it's very much related to these exchanges, symptoms of affection that there is there with the Vaishnava, and how we need to be very careful to develop them properly, but also how we should be very careful to not do this with those who are not devotees, because that's also something that can bind us very strong. So, because for example, if anyone just now stop us in the street and says something to us, we'll give maybe some attention, maybe not. But if someone who is very dear to us say anything, like someone who we really consider very, very close to our heart says just anything, we'll like hear it with full ears and we'll try to follow whatever they say. So in the way we can develop that closeness with the Vaishnava, that affection relationship, in that way we'll also be able to grasp what they want to give. We will be able to like hold, and even more deep, like Srila Rupa Goswami, when we see this in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, when he's explaining all these limbs of devotion, he says this Guru Padas Rai, Diksha, no? And then Guru, this Vishrambhena Guru Seva. No? Vishrambhena Guru Seva means like this very intimate service to Guru. When we know the heart of Shri Guru and we can serve to the level of like we are pleasing to the heart of Shri Guru, and for that we need a very close relationship. So this verse is somehow like for us to develop that very close relation, very deep relation with the Vaishnava. So and one thing more there is like so in the same way that this if we have this kind of exchanges with anyone, this will make us close to that person. So that's why like for us this is like the most important key, that we engage in these activities with a like very great elevated Vaishnavas, but at the same time we should like really avoid these kind of exchanges with anyone that is non-devotee or anyone that can be harmful for my spiritual life, because that like this kind of exchanges also brings attachment, no? So then this if it's engaged in those who are not proper receptacles for that, it will bring us far from devotion. So I think, Malkar, maybe you cannot share the songs, yes? If it's possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see?
It says has 13 screen sharing. I guess it's taking some time. Okay, yeah, I can see. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you can just go straight to the song. We'll just see it's a Sadvidi Priti Lakshanam. These 6 are like the symptoms of a loving relationship with Vaishnava. So here, and again, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it's opening these verses of Rupa Goswami in a very beautiful way. He's making us like prayers for us so that we can actually follow them. So here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur first is saying, dana and pratigraha. So when we are dana, like we are giving gift to Vaishnavas, and pratigraha, we are accepting things for them. We are receiving there. One thing here though, when we speak about giving to Vaishnavas, something there is very important. I remember one time we were there close to Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. We were one time in darshan in his room, and someone brought something that was like not really useful for the Vaishnava. And I remember hearing they explain it's like one need to be very careful what one gives to the Vaishnava. If you're giving, like, need to be something that really is pleasing to the Vaishnava, really is necessary for the Vaishnava. Otherwise, you're giving a headache to the Vaishnava. The Vaishnava after will need to think what to do with that, you know. So when we are thinking about giving to someone, because I mean, I can give something to someone, but if I give something that is very dear to that person, then this is very pleasing. Like if someone comes to me and gives me something just like, I don't know, but if someone gives me someone I've been expecting very much or like need very much, then it's different, the feeling. So when we are thinking about giving things to Vaishnavas, we should always think like, is really this something that the Vaishnava will like? This something that Vaishnava will need, you know? And then whatever they give us, we should take it like our life, you know? Like we hear in the life of our acharyas, like I remember Srila Bhakti Daita Maharaj, he has like or it was Bhakti Maharaj, I don't remember, but they have something that the Guru gave, and then for them was like the most valuable thing they have. They didn't want to leave it. Like that, anything that is given for the Vaishnava is not just something we should receive it in that way. This is like very close to my heart because this is being given. It's like the mercy of that Vaishnava. So, and then because also like for us receiving things, and Srila Bhakti Rakshashya Goswami Maharaj also makes emphasis like we give like new things Vaishnavas, but for us it's very nice when we can receive the remnants. Actually, the remnants of Vaishnavas are very powerful. No, like Uddhav say, like if we can hold the garlands and all these ornaments of the Lord, like all the remnants, this will make us defeat very easily Maya. No? So the things of Vaishnavas are very, very powerful, and then they are very valuable for us. And so, and the second thing saying is mito gupta kata, no? Like when there is this discussion of like very confidential, gupta means like confidential, no? These conversations that are very confidential. So we can understand here in one way, like one can go to, but this is not, should be done to like just anyone, should be like Vaishnavas that are really like dear and higher for us, that we go and open our hearts. So for one side, one can open whatever realization they have, but also Srila Bhakti Rakshashya Goswami Maharaj make the emphasis that we should also reveal our anarthas or our condition. If we're going through something like really bad or really, we need to open to Vaishnava. Like there is a power when we open things to Vaishnavas. Is even also like it's a thing of putting our head down. Like I have this like very big demon inside my heart, so please be merciful with me. You know, like just doing this thing is something very powerful. It's opening the door for the Vaishnava to change us. So, and then he's saying, so in the verse of Rupa Goswami says, you know, like Guhyam Akyati and also Prichati, when we are like also hearing from them what they, and actually really the most, when they reveal the most confidential thing can be like that they open, but mostly it's actually their harikatha. In their harikatha, they open in their heart. So we should somehow hold their harikatha like this is our most valuable thing. It's like the Vaishnava somehow is opening his heart and putting it in words. So when we go into harikatha, it should not be like I just like without so much attention or anything, I just like passing the time. No, we should like take it every single word like this is coming from the heart of this Vaishnava, and I should try to serve these words like something very dear to my heart. And then so, but here also when Srila Bhakti Rakshashya Goswami Maharaj, he always bring points that are very important. He say like, okay, this we need to have with Vaishnavas, but at the same time, like we should be very careful, like not to open our heart to any karmi or jnani, or like, or also we should not hear advice from them, because this can be like something very detrimental for our spiritual life. And these things, sometimes maybe we can think like, oh, it's not so important, but actually it's very essential. Like if we actually want to serve now, if we actually want to develop that mode of devotion, every single of these aspects are so important, and in the way that we can very carefully try to take care nicely of each one of these points that Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and all our Guru Varga is giving us, then in that way we'll be able to progress more and more. So then it's saying Bhakshana and Bhojanadana. So accepting prasad, giving from them, and also giving them. No? And this is a very affectionate exchange. So actually, when we are giving or receiving from someone, we need to be very careful from whom, because this is developing some attachment there. And even I remember one time, if we're receiving from anyone else, we should always see like this is being sent by my guru or by my Guru Varga. So then our attachment goes to our Guru Varga, not to that specific person, because attachment is a very powerful energy. So if our attachment is towards Guru and Vaishnavas, then this will bring us very close to them. So anything that is given to us, even by any other person, I remember one time this one Vaishnava instructed to me very directly, say like, anything that comes to you, you should always see, and this is your Gurudev sending to you. You should always be like holding in your heart, this is my Gurudev who is sending. So then our attachment and then the connection become more strong with Shri Guru and not with any specific person. And then, and also serving them, no? Serving them prasad. But again, Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj, I remember he used to do very strong emphasis about this. It's like when we are doing service to Vaishnava, should be with affection. It's not like a out of duty or out, like should be like expression of affection, should be affection. And I remember one time we were there and I asked Maharaj, I say, Maharaj, but I have no affection. Like you're saying we should serve Vaishnavas with affection, but I don't have real affection inside. And then Mara said, don't worry, just keep serving. By serving and serving and serving and serving, one will develop that affection naturally. So, but we should have that desire for that. Like, oh, even though I cannot serve you with affection, I pray, I really hope like that will be that day that I, with full heart, with full affection, I can serve Vaishnavas properly in a way that is very much pleasing to them. So, but here also again, it's like in the same, like when we give to Vaishnavas and we receive the prasad, also the remanents Gurudev will do very much emphasis that the remanents of Vaishnavas are the words. These are actually like very strong remanents of Vaishnava. Should be again with the proper, like these kind of exchange need to be with the proper person. Because if we do like Mahaprabhu do this pastime when he told, no, when Raghunath Das Goswami, he was giving the festivals there in Jagannath Puri, and then Mahaprabhu was taking this prasad. One time he stopped, and then Mahaprabhu asked Swarup Damodar why he stopped, and Raghunath Das Goswami said, because he understood you were not fully pleased, because the money he was using was coming from his father. And even though his father was serving Vaishnavas, but he was Vaishnava pride. He was like Vaishnava, but still he was having very much material inclination. So we need to be very careful when from whom we are receiving, who have cooked that thing, and because Krishna and Mahaprabhu tells one verse there is like if it's something given for a materialistic person, we cannot remember Krishna. It's just like we can think, oh, it doesn't matter so much, but really we want to become fully Krishna conscious, that we can like all time just be fully focused remembering Krishna and his pastimes and everything. Then these things are very important. If I'm taking from anywhere and then this will take away my conscious, and then I will not be able to remember Krishna. I will not be able to. But for the other side, if I take from a great Vaishnava who is so much inclined to serve the Lord, who has so much mood of service, that thing will come to me. I will also become very inclined to serve. I become very like this mood of service. So that's why the both sides are there always. Like I need to develop this very strongly with those Vaishnavas who have so much devotion. At the same time, I need to refrain of these exchanges with those who have no devotion or who can bring me far from devotion. So he'd say, then in the song, he says, Sangara Lakshana, High. These six are like symptoms of association, because we want to actually enter in association with Vaishnava. So when these six things will help us to actually come in the association of Vaishnava. So Ihate Bhaktira Pran. And in this association, the life of bhakti is there. The pran of bhakti is actually that's why I think Rupa Goswami is giving 3 verses just for sadhu sangha, because really the life of our devotion is the association of sadhu. So need to be in a very proper way. Like he says, sajati es nigdes sadhu sangha sotovare. We need to come to that level of association. So you can go a little out. So, dice tato na bujie. So without being able to understand this, I didn't comprehend this thing that is so important. No? So gyane ba agyane, like knowingly or unknowingly, ashate e shavakori. I have done this to those who were asat, like those who are non-devotees. No? So here also Bhaktivinoda Thakur is showing us like, oh no, like this is a very dangerous thing, you know, like for us the most helpful if we can do it with devotees, but if we do it with those who are non-devotees, it's a big problem. So I say like, no, without understanding how like important and powerful is to when we have these exchanges, affectionate exchanges. I done it with those who are non-devotees, and then so bhakti haraino, samsara haino. So this has no bhakti haraino. Somehow this has stole my devotion. No? He was because of this I'm losing my devotion. In one sense, it's like devotion is getting covered, and then samsara haino. No, and then I become samsari. Sorry, samsari means like a materialist. I become like them. You know, because of being so much exchanging with them, then I develop the same kind of inclinations they have, the same aspiration they have. So then I become like a very materialistic person. And then Sudure Rahile Hari. And because of this, Sudure, I remain Rahile, no? I remain Sudure, very, very far of you, oh my Lord, you know, because I'm not being careful how I relate with others, because I'm not being careful how I exchange with others, instead of like because of so much allowing the association with this materialistic, then I become also like a materialistic, and then bhakti become like somehow this stole my devotion, and then I become very far from you, oh my Lord. So you can go a little more. So then here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, then, but what is our hope? No, he say Krishna Bhakta Jane E Shanga Lakshane Adara Koribo Jave. Like when I will be able to have this kind of Sangha Lakshana, these exchanges of this association with Krishna Bhakta Jane, with the devotees of Krishna, and that I will do this like a adhara, no, with so much respect. Kori Bojave, when I will be able to do this, then he's saying very beautiful. Bhakti Mahadevi Amare Hridoye Ashane Boshivotave. Then Tave means no, then Amare Hridoye, in my heart, no, Bhakti Mahadevi, this Bhakti Maharani, no, she Asane Boshivo will sit in the throne of my heart. Asane means like a throne, no? And then he will sit in that. So actually that's why I'm saying the life of bhakti is sadhu sangha, no? So if I will have this proper association with sadhus, like with so much honor and respect, then what will happen in my heart, this bhakti dev will come and sit there. So I feel like it's like something we need to be very, very, very like take this instruction like something very valuable. This is actually the key of our spiritual life. So if somehow we can give the proper honor to this instruction and try to follow it in every situation, then this will be very helpful for our life. So Yoshit Shangi Jana Krishna Avakta Art Duhu Sangha Parihari. So giving up the both, Duhu means both, these two kinds of association, those Yoshit Sangijan, those people who are associating, even Yoshit actually means woman, but we can understand like those who associate with the opposite sex, and Krishna Avakta, those who are non-devotees. So Parihari, I will give up, this giving up all this kind of association, these two types of association. Ta Bhakta Jane, Sangha Anukshane, Kabe ba hoive Hari. So here is actually praying, like when Kabe, when O Hari, then giving up all these bad association, these two types of association, and being anukshane constantly in the sangha of Bhaktajan, like Tava Bhaktajan, your devotees. Then, oh Hari, when will be this my condition? That I will be able to give all bad association and be always, always in the proper association with your devotees, in a way that is in a mood of service, and very close and very being able to take what is deep in their hearts. So I think we can go to the next song. So this is our hope. We wanted to be always in the association of sadhus. So now here one thing is very important, no, and then we are seeing how like sadhu sangha is the most valuable thing in our life. But at the same time, we need to understand that not all Vaishnavas are on the same level. I cannot relate with all Vaishnavas in the same way. So, and this is also a very important teaching. It's like, okay, in this fifth verse, Srila Rupa Goswami is saying we should not relate in the same way with all Vaishnavas. And this is actually a very much an instruction for someone who's in the Madhyama stage, you know, how we should relate very properly with every single level of Vaishnavas. Because Param Gurudev, he says, no, and there's this article, one must consider, I don't remember, it's like it speaks about the proper association with Vaishnavas, no? And it says, only when we respect Vaishnavas in a manner befitting their respective qualification can we become free from knowingly or unknowingly committing Vaishnava aparadha. No? He say it is improper to honor a Kanishta Adhikari in a way that is befits only an Uttam Adhikari, or to deal with a Madhyam Adhikari as if he were a Kanishta Adhikari. So we should like, this is something that, like he's saying here something very strong. If we want to be far from Vaishnava Parat, we need to learn how to deal like with a Kanishta Vaishnava. We should relate like that, and with Natutam in a proper way, and with Madhyama in a very proper way. So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, no, Samana Sahite, like in this Ohe Vaishnava Thakur, Deho Yata Yata, no, like in a very proper way, properly according to every single person. How can I relate? So then you can come to the song, and the song will see the meaning of the verse. So first, it's going Sangha dosha shunya dikshita adikshita yadi tavana magai. So first, he's speaking about one kind of devotees, or like those who, for one side, there's Sangha dosha shunya. They are free from they are not in bad association. They could be dikshit or adikshit. Maybe they have taken initiation or maybe not, but they are free from bad association. And yadi tava namagai, if they are chanting your name, then here, as Rupa Goswami is instructing, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is expressing, I say manase adar, like in my mind, and giving honor to them. And this is also, it's good for us, but also good for them. If we give honor to someone who is very new, like too much honor, they cannot digest an honor. They can maybe think, oh, I'm such a great person, I'm so special, you know, and this is not helpful for our spiritual life. So yeah, we give honor. We give honor to everyone that somehow is serving, is coming in the path of devotion. But for them, it's a proper way to give honor in our mind. You know, we offer in our obeisances and our honor just at the level of the mind. No, Koribo Tahare, I will do to them. And then Jani Nija Janatai. So knowing, and this, yesterday I was, yeah, this I couldn't understand properly what was this Nijajan, but then yesterday we sing with my Akar, and it's like he's someone like one of us, like so seeing like him, like he's like one of us. So that's why in my mind I'm giving honor to this devotee, you know. So to those ones who are coming at like the beginning stage, or they are coming in the path, we need to give honor, but we need to give honor in our mind. This is the proper way of giving honor to them. It's good for us and it's also good for them, because we actually need to give honor to everyone. And then, but if to someone who is very much at the beginning, if we give too much honor, they can become very proud. So then it's coming this next level, no? That's like a Kanishta. Now we're coming to the next level. So Dikshita Hoya, that devotee who already took initiation, means already took shelter in a bona fide guru. This is something very powerful. Even if like whatever, but if we can somehow take shelter in a bona fide guru, this is something powerful. And then Bhaje tu apada, it's serving, no, your lotus feet. Tahare pranati kori, to that person pranati, no, I will offer prostrated obeisances to him. No? So those who are already got initiation and they already engaged in serving the lotus feet of the Lord and Vaishnavas, to them, we should actually offer prostrated obeisances to them. This is proper. And then comes to the third level of Vaishnavas. So, no, I think you need to, little before this, sorry. No, it's still the verse, the previous verse, Malkar. Anya, yeah. Anya Bhajane. So those who are Ananya, Ananya Bhajane means like very one-pointed. They have like exclusive devotion, and Bhikya Sejana, those who are like very expert in having this one-pointed devotion. Tahare Sevi Bohari. To them, I will not just offer my obeisances, I will serve them. So, and that's why like when we are speaking like trying, we are expecting to have like very close relationship like we saw in the previous verse. We need to aspire this for those personalities who are very much elevated, that are very expert in having this exclusive devotion. To them, we should serve them. And actually I was trying to search yesterday because Srila Rupa Goswami in his verse, he used, in relation to service, he used this word susrushaya. So I was trying to understand a little deeper this word susrushaya, and I found that actually sru means to hear, and susrushaya means actually to serve them, but in the sense of like serving by hearing from them. Like this is a very important thing. So when we come to very great elevated Vaishnavas, the most important thing is that we need to hear their katha, we need to hear their conception, we need to hear and try to bring this very close to our heart. Because Gurudev will say this very strongly, like we can be with a Vaishnava, but not be with them. Or she really will come in association where we can come close to their hearts, to their conceptions, to. So yeah, Susrushaya is there. So now yeah, you can
Rukmini
go.
Didi raised her hand also. Yes,
Yeah.
Rukmini Didi.
Thank you. Yes, I have one sort of practical question, which is, and thank you for the wonderful explanations. So suppose we run into someone who's a devotee and practicing devotion, and their behavior seems, they're doing all the practices, but they're a Ritvik. So, for instance, they say that they have taken initiation from Srila Prabhupada when they actually came to Krishna consciousness much after his disappearance. Then what is the proper way to, for us to, what is the appropriate way for us to treat them?
So what I heard, like when there is someone that like this, like someone who, because for us, like Vaishnavas, it's very important, like aspiring Vaishnavas, we always need to give honor to everyone. So we can give honor to them, but from distance. Like those ones who have they're following some kind of philosophy, or they're doing something that is not really fully in line from what we are following. We don't need to disrespect anyone, but we don't need to associate with them. We just give honor from far. Like this applies for many things. Like there is many devotees in different ways, but when there is some difference from what I'm trying to follow, I don't disrespect, but I offer honor from far. I don't need to associate with them with any, and if anything that we need to, like whatever situation there, we just deal in an external way with respect, with honor, but we don't need to associate with those who are following some kind of philosophy or something that is deviating from what our Guru Varga gave us. Because it's very precious that we can follow and grasp very dearly to our heart what our Guru Varga has given. And in that, it's also to not associate with those who are deviating from that. But at the same time, we're not disrespectful with them, but we just give honor from far. We don't keep any association.
Thank you.
I don't know if. Okay, so yeah. So here speaking still more about these qualities of these devotees who are like, he says, Sarva Bhuta Sama Jevakte Ramati Tahara Darshanamani. So I consider myself, like mani means I consider, that Tahara Darshane, to be able, just what to speak about associating with them, just seeing them. I consider like Apanakedani. I consider this is my great fortune if I can know, because they are Sarvabhuta Sam. They have like this they are equiposed with everyone, no? And not only everyone, with everything. And this is a very special quality of Vaishnava, no? Like in this material world, there is duality, no? And that's something like we can see in the life of Prahlad Maharaj. No, Prahlad Maharaj felt very strongly about this thing of duality. When we are in a conditioned state, we see like my friend, my enemy, my this, my that, because we are in this very much at the level of this material world. But when we cross and we surrender to the Lord, then we see everything connected to the Lord. Then there is no duality. Everything is just, the center is the Lord and everything is connected to the Lord. So then there is no chance of seeing here like, oh, this is good or this is bad, this is my friend or this is my enemy. No, so duality goes away when we fully surrender to the Lord. And then so that's why, because they fully surrender to the Lord and fully connected to the Lord, they see everything related to the Lord, so that they can have this sama, this mood of being equiposed to everyone. And because also they see in the jivas at the level of the soul. So, and in that sense, that's why like Rupa Goswami says, no, like they are ninda sunya, no, they're they're free from this, completely free from this tendency to criticize others, you know, fully free. They don't have that kind of. So again, when we see these personalities that we are wanting to serve fully with our whole heart, with our everything, they are Bhajana Bhigya, no? They're very expert and they have very strong realizations in their bhajan. And they're Ananya, they are like fully one-pointed. They are not here and there, like they have like full one-pointed devotion for Radha Krishna and Mahaprabhu. And then Nindadi Sunya, no, they are like fully free from the tendency to see faults in anyone else. No, they don't criticize anyone. And then Srila Rupa Goswami, no, at the end of this verse, say, Ipsita Sankalapya, we should always be very eager to have their association, because understanding that their association is the most valuable thing in our life, so we should always hankering for their association. So somehow Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying in this, no, like Tahara Darshani Mani Aparnake Dhanya. Like I even like having just their darshan, I consider like very fortunate by that. No? Say Sangapaya, if I can get somehow that kind of association, Charitartha Hoilo Jani, I consider that I like I become successful, no? By being in there. My life is, because of their association, my life is successful, because really to serve the Lord, we need to have seva vritti. This is the essence. We can do thousands of things. Many things can be there, but really what we need is to have a mood of service, no? And then this mood of service will come from Vaishnava, will come from the association of Vaishnava. We have now, I can say about personally myself, I have this bhoga vritti very strongly. I want to enjoy this work, but only in the association of Vaishnava is that we can fully give up this tendency to enjoy, even like while doing spiritual things. This tendency of enjoyment like contaminates our different activities. But in the association of Vaishnavas, because they are those pure devotees, they have full that tendency of service, no? By their association is that mood of service will come. So you can come to this last. So here is saying very beautiful, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, no? Nishkapatomati, like with an attitude or a conscience that is very sincere, no? We can be very unqualified, but if somehow we are honest and we are sincere and we are trying, no, because you have one side is sincerity and the opposite to that is duplicity, no. So that's why the word is no kapat means like being duplicitous, and nishkapat, when there is no duplicity, that means like sincerity. This is the way we need to approach Vaishnavas, no. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying, you know, Nishkapate Mati Vaishnavera Prati E Dharma Kavi Pavo. Like when will that very beautiful virtue of being like very sincere, with a very sincere attitude, I will associate with Vaishnavas. I will have this relationship where I'm not having any challenge mood, any like a pride or any duplicitous, like going to the Vaishnava saying like, oh, give me your mercy, but actually wanting something that is just material. No, when I would be like with very sincere heart and from a very honest position, I will come and associate with Vaishnavas, trying to really take the jewel of their heart. No? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is praying, and I say, Kabe samsare sindhu parahaye, like when I will be able to have this kind of relationship with the Vaishnava, and in that kind of association, then like I will be able to the samsara sindhu, like this ocean of material existence, I will be able to cross it, and then not only that, because there is things that, okay, maybe we can become free from this material system, but that's not what we want. Like crossing this material system, that's something secondary. What we want, Tava Braja Pure Jao, that I will be able to reach this Braj Vrindavan, this Golok Vrindavan. And reaching Braj Vrindavan, what means this, that I will be able to achieve the service to the Lord. Going to Braj, it's going to serve. So I will be able to achieve the service of Radha Govinda. So very beautifully, Bhaktivinoda Thakur then is giving us this mood, like, okay, we want association. Association is so valuable, and we should have very proper association with Vaishnavas, but this should be our prayer. When I will be able to, with a very sincere heart and a very sincere attitude, I will be able to associate with Vaishnavas. So you can come to the next song. Now, here, Rupa Goswami, this is the third verse about association with Vaishnavas, and here he's saying something very important. We just understood that the most valuable thing for us is when we associate with great personalities, those who, like the wealth of the heart is that devotion. But one thing we need to be very careful is like that we don't see them with our material conception, because we have very much conditionings, and these conditionings, and we like see things according what we experience in our life and according to some scars we have. And if we try to understand Vaishnavas with our own material intelligence and with our own, like, we will end doing offenses. So here Rupa Goswami somehow in this verse is saying, like, but be very careful you don't commit an offense. These great Vaishnavas, these great personalities, they are not from this material world. Sometimes they act in a way that you will not be able to understand, or they look in a way that you will not be able to understand, but you should not try to understand them by your own material conceptions, because you will end committing offense. So that's why, and this verse is very important, because the most valuable thing for us is this association of sadhus, and the worst thing in our spiritual life is to commit an offense to a great Vaishnava. If somehow we commit an offense to Vaishnava, our life is like a Bhakti Devi can never ever be pleased with a person who is committing offense to great Vaishnavas, to any Vaishnava, but especially to great Vaishnavas, because here we're speaking about pure devotees, in this verse. So in this song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is helping us to understand also and pray in relation to this verse that Rupa Goswami is giving us, that is so important. So it's a Nira Dharma Gata. So Nira means the water, and the water has a Dharma, has a special nature, like in the water, in the rivers, like it's very common that it will come, I'll just explain the whole thing. So this is Nira Dharma Gata, Janavi Salile, Panka Fena Drishta Hoy. So this Janavi means like Ganga Devi. Ganga Devi is one of her names is Janavi, because she's the daughter of Janumuni. So in her waters, sometimes, because it's a river, then this nature of water, nature is there in this Janavi Devi. Ganga Devi has this in her the nature of water, because it's taking the form as a river. So and that's why Panka Fena Drishta Hoy, sometimes then we can see in the waters of Gangaji, like Panka means like mud, or Fena means like foam, and then we understand Ganga Devi is fully, completely transcendental. But if we see this, like, this mud and this foam is there, we can think, oh, it doesn't look like something so pure. No, it looks like something contaminated. So here Rupa Goswami is giving us a very beautiful example that to make us understand we need to be very careful when we are dealing with transcendental things. So he said, Tatapika Kana Brahma Drava Dharma Sesalile Na Charaya. So still, even though Ganga Devi takes this nature of water, because it's taking the form of water, Brahma Drava Dharma, his nature as Brahma Drava means like this liquidified transcendence, like a transcendental, his nature that is transcendental. Se salile na charya, never give up this transcendental nature. So this is something we need to understand. Sometimes even like in the dam or in Ganga Devi or these things that are transcendental, we can see things outside that they look old, but it looks dirty, but it looks like how can be this pure and transcendental? But we are seeing with our material eyes. No, only when we have like these transcendental eyes, we'll see like how really their form is. So we need to be very careful. No, so yeah, you can come little up. So here, this is like very important. So when we are seeing Vaishnavas, but here speaking about pure devotees, no? So when we are seeing pure devotees, we need to understand this line is like really important. They say Vaishnava Sarira Aprakrita Sada. Like the body of the Vaishnavas, so the pure devotees is Aprakrita Sada. It's always transcendental. No? Swabhava Vapura Dharme Kabun Nahe Jara, like their swabhav, their nature, and the Vapur, their body, no, they need like how his natures are and how the body features are. Kabun na Jara, they can never be mundane, they can never be material. Their body, they are transcendental. So Tatapi Je Ninde. But if anyone, because not being able to understand see this, they see some fault. For example, and there's a pastime that Mahaprabhu has done with his associate to give us this teaching like very, very strongly. When Srila Sanatana Goswami, he was going to Puri to see Mahaprabhu, then he passed through the forest and then he got this disease in the skin, that he was having these sores with pus and blood, and it was not so much nice to see it. But then when he came to Mahaprabhu was so happy to see him, and every time he will see him, he will try to embrace him, and by force he will embrace him. And then Sanatana Goswami will feel so much like, oh my God, I'm so already so low, and I have all these things that full of pus and blood, and the Lord is touching this like so contaminated and low body. And then he thought like I should give up my life in the wheels of the Ratra Yatra, no? And then, but Mahaprabhu understood and he said like, no, But then Mahaprabhu, after like almost at the end of the description of this pastime, he says to Sanatana Goswami, say, no, Prabhu kohe, Vaishnava deha prakrita kavunai. The body of Vaishnava, it's never like the body of a pure devotee is never material. We should have this like, because this will save us from doing offenses that can kill our spiritual life. So aprakrita deha bhaktera chir anandamai. The body of pure devotees is transcendental. It's chir anandamai. It's full of this transcendental knowledge and bliss. So, and then Mahaprabhu says, no, Sanatanera dehe Krishna kadu upajay, ama parikshite iha dilo patai. So this is, Mahaprabhu is saying like very nicely, say like Krishna himself gave this disease in the body of Sanatan. And by this, he's testing me. No, he's testing how. And then so we need to be very careful. Like by Srila Sanatana Goswami, for us, he's such a, it's like these are the heads of our line. And he's totally transcendental. And he's a very like dear and close associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in his form as Lavanga Manjari, he's a very dear, close servant of Srimati Radhika. So if we, with our material eyes, we see him as like, oh, he has a disease in the body, and we think of him of like just an ordinary person, will be fully like our spiritual life will be finished, So that's why here Rupa Goswami is saying, because when we come close to the Vaishnavas and we try to associate with them very close and serve them, we will see certain things in them that will get confused, like, oh, but he looks like he's just like an ordinary person, or like why he gets sick, Many of our Guru Vargas, at the end of their like pastimes, they have done sick pastime, not? And then we need to understand they are not ordinary. They are doing a pastime. They're giving us the chance to serve them. So here in this song and this verse, it's very, very important. They say like, okay, we need to be so careful not to criticize a Vaishnava because we are seeing something in their nature. Or like, for example, seeing a Vaishnava and he took birth, like appear in a very low family, like Haridas Thakur, he came in a Muslim family, and we can just think, oh no, like he's like very low. we need to be very careful. No, Vaishnavas are beyond anything of this material world, and they're fully transcendental, and they are dear to the Lord. So if we somehow offend them, then this is like a big, big problem. So that's why here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, "Tatapi janinde pare se vishama adharma." Like that person will fall in. Vishama means like horrible, like very terrible adharma. No? So even we are trying to practice devotion, we are trying to do things nicely, but if somehow we offend Vaishnavas, then our bogavriti and our like we will be so much covered of ignorance, and this desire of enjoyment will come so strongly. We can see in the life of Vaishnavas that we thought like, wow, they were doing so nice, and now why we are so much, they're so much engaged in enjoyment. Most probably is because they offended Vaishnava. Because offending Vaishnava, then like he's saying, Vishama Adharma, we fall in like very low activities. We end doing things that are like very rejectable. So say aparade jamera jatana. So sorry. So say aparade by this offense, no? Jamera jatana paja jiva avirata, no? That jiva will avirata, like perpetually will receive this how you say, punishment of Yamaraj. No? So we will keep suffering, like because of offense of Vaishnava, we'll recover, fully covered by ignorance. And then again, we'll need to suffer very strongly in this material life. So yeah, we need to be very careful. And say, He Nandanandan, say aparada, jeno nahi khai hata. So here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's praying, He Nata, say aparada, jen nahi hei hata. Oh Nandanandan, may I not be destroyed. Like he's praying, please make me that I don't become destroyed by these offenses. I understood that I commit offenses. I sin Vaishnavas with a material conception. I give like thoughts about different Vaishnavas in a way that were not proper, but please like somehow help me that this doesn't kill me. And then I have like same that we've seen before, like that I can have proper, very sincere mood to Vaishnavas, that I don't like even whatever I commit already in the past, please let me save me from all those offenses. And then Tomara Vaishnava, Bhai Tomar. He's saying very beautifully here, like your Vaishnavas, oh Hari, no? Your devotees, they're Bhai Tomar, they are your glory. No? Amare Koruna Doi, may they be merciful to me. No? Tava Moragati, then like my journey or my destiny, Hava Tava Prati, Pavo Tava Padachai. Now, if somehow, because like these Vaishnavas are your glory, are very close to you, are very dear to you. And not only that, they also like very merciful. So if somehow they, no, somehow if I can get their mercy, then in my journey, I will be able to achieve you. No, I will be able to achieve the shadow, no, the shade of your lotus feet. And I heard one time, like when we speak about the shade of the lotus feet of the Lord, it's also like means the Vaishnavas, no? Because who are there at the feet of the Lord is his own devotees. So anyhow, but if somehow if they give mercy, then we will be able to like come and take shelter properly, like with a very mood of service, we will be able to serve the Lord, no? Achieve that by the mercy of Vaishnava. So here, all this song is again just to make us so careful that we don't see and don't commit offense to Vaishnavas, and then that we can have very proper mood in our association with Vaishnavas. So with these three songs and these three verses, we have seen like sadhu sangha, how sadhu sangha in our spiritual life is something so necessary, so powerful, but how we need to be very careful about that. So now we come into the seventh song. Sorry, it's very difficult to. It's so beautiful, Upadeśāmṛta. This is so valuable in our life, so time is always little problem. So here now this song 7 and 8 are related to these verses 7 and 8, and 7 and 8 verses are very specific about our progress, our process, no? And in this 7th verse is actually when we have no test. No, I can see this is my condition, no, even I'm trying to serve, no, Nam is the most valuable thing that Mahaprabhu brought to us, but I have no test to serve this Nam. So here, Rupa Goswami, and in that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is opening this, he's showing us how, even though we have no test, how we can come out from this condition, how can we develop test for Nam. And this is something very important. This teaching, actually, this verse is, for at least for my stage, is something very, very, very helpful. So here is saying, Tomara Bulia, because I have forgotten you, like I forget you. So avidya piraya. So I have this, I'm being affected with a disease. And what is my disease? Is avidya. I have like ignorance. And what means ignorance? I forgot who I am. No? And what is valuable for me, and my relation is with whom. I'm thinking something else about myself. I'm thinking something else about what are valuable things for me. I'm fully in ignorance. I'm thinking what it is not like. And then and this actually, this avidya viraya here, actually, because how Rupa Goswami explained it, he's saying, what is this disease of ignorance? He's comparing it with jaundice. No? Jaundice has a problem when the liver is not working properly, that even if one takes something that is very sweet, we cannot taste it sweet. No, because actually what it wants to explain here is that the name of the Lord, his form, his qualities, everything related to the Lord, it's so sweet. Like we sing this song, no? Adaram, Maduram. Like everything in the Lord, everything is sweet. It's something that is so relishable. It's something that has so much ras there. But because when we are covered, we are by ignorance, no? Then that capacity of relishing the nectar, that sweetness of the Lord, it's far from us. So even though name is actually something so nectarian. That's why when Rupa Goswami gives this verse, Tunde Tandaviri, it's saying like, for me, like I need one tongue is not enough. This Nam is like so delicious. It's something so like a nectarian that I want thousands, millions and millions of tongues. No? So I more than like really physically having like millions of tongues, is having the capacity of relishing of millions and millions of tongues. And when entering my ears is something so nectarious that I want millions and millions of ears. Like this is how Nam is like so full of ras. But because I have this disease of ignorance, they say someone who has jaundice, when you take sugar or anything sweet, not only you don't feel it sweet, you feel it bitter. So this is our condition. This Nam is something so like sweet, but we are just testing something bitter. Because if we'll see relish the sweetness, we will never want to give up now. We will just constantly want it to, like like that verse. So then here, but what can be the solution for our condition? This is what Rupa Goswami is expressing in this verse, and what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is also opening in his song. So, so we have forgotten the Lord, and because of like we are fully affected with this disease, this jaundice of the ignorance. And then Pirita Rasana More, this is affecting my tongue. No? Rasana is the tongue. Krishna Nama Sudha, this Krishna Nam is Sudha, is nectar. There's so much nectar, there's so much ambrosia in this Krishna's name. But Balo na lage. But even though there's so much nectar there, Balo nahi lage means, but I feel it not so nice. No, it tastes like very bitter for me, like unpleasant. I don't really like it. Why? Vishaya Sukete Bhor, because now I am so much engrossed in material enjoyment. I just thinking that happiness and relishable things are in material things. So because I'm in that platform, I'm so much absorbed in that, I cannot taste sweetness in Krishna's name. No? So you can put it. So but here is saying that actually there is in the verse of Rupa Goswami and Bhaktivinoda Thakur expressed it also, there is two things we need to do to be able to develop that testing now. Both things there are very, very necessary. So he said prati dina jari, like if every day, this is one anudinam, like something that we are doing every day, constantly, and adara korea, this adara word is very, very necessary. Like if we want somehow to be able to serve Nam, if we want to be able to develop taste in Nam, because actually when we will be able to relish the nectar of Nam, when Nam will descend to our tongue. It's not that we can chant Nam, only when Nam will be pleased with us, Nam himself will descend in our tongue and he will start dancing. And when Nam will start dancing in our tongue, we'll be able to relish this nectar of Nam. So, but how can we please Nam in such a way that Nam will descend in our tongue? We need to become Sewanmuk, like very much inclined to serve. When we have this mood of service, and what is an expression of that mood of service? This adara, when we are like with so much lovingly regard, with so much care, so nicely, like in this word adar, we can put all these territories that we heard, like with this utsaha and with this nishchaya, with this dharya, like with so much enthusiasm, but at the same time, like with so much determination and with so much care, when I will chant Nam like this, we see like one of the fences of Nam, and it's one of the strongest, is this pramad, like that we are very, how do you say, not attentive, disattentive, I don't know, sorry, English is not my language. So we are not properly attentive when we are chanting Nam. What? Inattentive, maybe? Attentive.
Sorry, there's a lag. There's a lag. I just said inattentive, but yes, sorry.
Okay, inattentive. Okay. So inattentive. So then this, like the opposite to this adar, it's being inattentive. Like when I'm chanting and I'm just seeing my phone, or I'm chanting, I'm doing something else, or even like hearing Harikata or anything, like I'm not giving proper full conscious and focus to Nam. So, but if we actually want to develop test for Nam, if we actually want to serve Nam, please Nam, we need to do Adara Korea. We need to chant with so much care, with so much loving regard. I love like that loving regard so nicely, and daily, not that like today I chant and tomorrow maybe, or like daily, So say Nama Kirtana Kari, if I will be able to chant this Nam in this way, like with Adar and every day, So Sita Pala Jeno, so in the same way that this sitapal means actually this mystery, this sugar candy. When you have like this plant of sugar, you take first like comes the water, and then you make it good, and then from this like you make, every time you take more and more and more, and when it only stays just the sweet part, this is sitapal, and it's like it's the mystery taste, like the rock candy. So this, when someone has jaundice, the best way to cure that jaundice is when this very pure mixture. Nowadays, there's so many things that are mixed with who knows what, but that pure mixture, it's very powerful actually to heal the problem of this liver that cannot taste the sweet. So that's why I say sitala jeno nashi roga mula. Like in the same way that this mixture will destroy this rog, this disease from the root. Like it will take away our disease from the fully root. So then krame swadu haya hari, and then by taking out this disease, then like, and this thing taking away, when we are taking a treatment, it's not that like in one day everything's finished. It's a gradual thing. Like we are more and more, the disease is going until one point it will go fully from the root. So, and in the same way that the disease is going, in the same way I will be able to relish more and more and more and more. So krame swada hoy hari. So by drinking this nectar of Nam, with Adar, with so much honor and respect, and every day, this is like a little by little, this will take away my disease of ignorance, Cheto Darpana Marjana, my heart, all my anarthas, everything will be clean, because what doesn't allow us to relish is all our anarthas, all our offenses, but now with Cheto Darpana Marjana, we cleaning this Cheto Darpan, this mirror of our heart, cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And in the way that we become more and more and purified, more and more inclined to serve, more and more, then more and more we are able to relish Nam. Why? Because Nam becomes pleasant. He's actually giving mercy. Because without the mercy of Nam, we'll never be able to actually serve Nam or touch Nam. And so what to speak of relishing the nectar of Nam. So So you can go to this next verse. But here, this is our, so Durdeva Amar, but my misfortune, Se Nama Adar, Na Hoile Dayamoy. But what is my misfortune, oh my Lord, is that I cannot chant that name with Adar. I cannot give proper attention. I cannot give proper care. I cannot give like this loving regard to Nam. So, oh Doyamai, oh my Lord, you are very merciful. So this is my hope, even though I have no, my misfortune is, even though this Nam is so powerful, it's so powerful. And this is also like this word Durdeva, it's very nice in the second verse of Shikshastakam, no? When he's saying like, the Lord has put all his potencies in Nam, and it's not giving, like, Nam is such an easy process. Any other process, they're so complicated and you need to have so many rules and regulations, but Nam has no any, is the most powerful thing, can give us the most powerful thing, like the most elevated thing, and you don't need, like, it's not a difficult thing, but still, I'm so unfortunate that I cannot have proper attachment to Nam, I cannot have proper honor to Nam. So Dasa aparat amara durdaivan. What is my misfortune is that I'm engaged in these offenses to Nam. No, so it's very important we know where are these 10 offenses. It's not way that we can see them because of the time, but it's very important that we are conscious about these offenses to Nam and that we are very careful not to commit them. No, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Harinam Chintamani, that is a book to help us to go very deep in our chanting. He's given a chapter for every aparat. Like, we need to understand very properly the offenses and then also being very careful, trying not to commit them. And so Dasa Aparada Amara Durdaiva, Kemane Hoibexai, how these offenses will be destroyed. No, that kind of lamentation we should have. I'm so unfortunate, and even though this Nam is so powerful and I'm not able to chant properly, and not only I'm not able to give this adar to Nam, this proper respect, but I'm on top of that I'm committing offenses, and how I'll be able to become free from all these offenses, no? So can you just go to that? So Anudina, Jeno Tava Namagai Kramete Kripayatave. So here we saw this first word was Adar, but the second thing is Anudina. Anudina is like actually constantly, like every day, but also like every time. Like our chanting Nam is not just the time we are holding the mala. Actually, trying to serve Nam should be our whole life. How I'm dealing with others, how I'm dealing, like every single thing we are doing, Nam is considering. So if we want to please Nam, should be like I become in such a way that is totally, completely pleasing to Nam. So constantly, if I will be able to chant this Nam, like same as Maharaj told me, like, oh, I have no affection for it, for Vaishnava, so I can serve it. So just keep serving, keep trying. Like by keep serving, then affection will come. No? So in the same way, we need to still doing it. Okay, I'm doing wrong, but with a mood of prayer. Like, please, I know, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur was praying in there. Like, my misfortune is I cannot chant properly, and on top of that, I'm committing offenses. But please help me. I need your help. I need your shelter. So please. So like this, if we chant like this every day, all the time, Kramete Kripayatave, like little by little, we will be able to get the mercy of Nam. And by mercy of Nam, little by little, the test will come. And little by little, like everything that is not favorable will go away. Aparada Jave, all our offenses will go away. Namaruchi Have, and we will develop this test for Nam. Nam will become so relishable, no? And in Asadivo Namashav, I will be able to relish this Sava, this nectar of Nam, the nectar of Nam. I will be able to relish this like constantly. So this, even though our condition is like that and have no taste for Nam, but if we somehow chant constantly and with Adar, with proper respect, with proper care, then one day Nam will give us his mercy, and then by his mercy, all our offenses, everything will go away, and we will be able to relish the nectar of Nam. And one thing there is, just the last thing, for Adar to develop that mood, association is needed. Only in the association of Vaishnavas, we will be able to properly and really actually chant Nam with care, with affection, with a mood of service. No, without the association of Vaishnavas, that will never be possible. By any effort we can try, it's not possible. So yeah, that's why Sadhusanga is so essential. Now the last 7 minutes for the last song. This is not fair. Okay, so this verse is like very, very, very valuable. Like it's actually like a Srila Rupa Goswami, like I was saying yesterday, he's our Acharya of Avideya. He's giving us the process, and he himself so mercifully, he's saying here, no, Akila iti Upadeśāmṛta. This is the essence of all instruction. So if we actually want to achieve this Krishna Prem, if we actually want to achieve the service of Srimati Radhika, then we need to become fully established in this instruction. In the way that we can establish ourselves in this verse, in that way we are coming close to that. So this verse should be actually the most valuable jewel in our heart. It's something that like, it's our higher aspiration that one day we can fully be established in this instruction. So here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to explain this verse, say, Shri Rupa Gosai, Shri Guru Rupete, like Srila Rupa Goswami in the form of Shri Guru. And I really like to see it like this. Actually, like all these instructions for us, they're from Rupa Goswami, but they're coming to us to Shri Guru. Shiksha Dilo Morakane. So he gave these instructions in my ear. No? Here he say like whispered. Somehow he gave all these advices. Something like, because this instruction like is something very confidential. It's something very valuable. It's really, the day will understand like how precious is this verse in our life. Like Bhaktivinoda, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was saying, if we want to achieve Krishna Prem, we need this Upadeśāmṛta, especially. And one thing is there also, all these last 7 verses, no, 7 songs, is for us to establish in this, in the way that we can follow all these previous 7 verses, then we can be established in this verse. And this is the essence of what Rupa Goswami want to give us in this Upadeśāmṛta. But to come to here, he need to explain all the previous thing, because without all the previous thing, we can only pretend to be here, but we'll never really be able to come here unless we are really careful with whatever he gave before. So that's why it's like one cannot go straight to this essence of instruction, but we need to go gradually and understanding all the thing and trying to apply everything. Then one day we can fully be established in this. So here, Rupa Goswami is saying, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, so Siksha Dile Morakan, he gave this like very valuable instruction in my ear. So Jano Morakata, no, they say you should understand my words. No, be very careful when you hear, like very, very attentively. This is something very valuable. Namera Kangal, or you who are a beggar of Nam, no, or you who are like trying somehow to serve Nam. Rati Pave Namagane, like by this you will be able to, now here is not just Ruchi, sorry, it's Rati. We will be able to develop like this very loving, affectionate relationship with Nam. No? By this, it's like we will come to the platform of Bhav and then be like after that also. So, sorry. So, Krishna Namarupa Guna Sucharita. So here actually like in the verse, and why like Srila Rupa Goswami is so perfect. When he gave like the essence of instruction, he gave us everything we need. Like when you have an instruction, you need to know where you need to do it, how you need to do it, and with what you need to do it, and how, like which activity, like every single aspect of everything you need to know. Rupa Goswami put it everything in one verse, no? So first, like we need to engage, no? What is the activity we will be doing, no? We need to engage. Our rasana, manase means like our mind. No, our rasana means the tongue and manase means our mind. And what are the activities our tongue and our mind is like singing and remembering. No, these two, like sukirtana, no, smrito, no, like we need to, and Rupa Goswami doesn't say only kirtana, but sukirtana. No, so we need to somehow engage our tongue and our mind in this in this kirtan and smaran, no? Of what? Of Krishna's. If actually in the verse it says Tanama Rupa, but here it's like no, Krishna's name, form, guna is quality, Sucharita means like his loving pastimes, no? And Gurudev will go even farther. Like if we want to go more and more deep, also we need to give some speciality to those pastimes with those associations to whom we are aspiring, no? The mood we are aspiring. But this is something very elevated. So Krama, Vidi, Anushari, and here is saying something very important, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But we need to not just like engage our tongue and our mind, but according to the kram, to the sequence that they are giving us. Like if I am just trying to straight jump to the pastimes of the Lord and just trying, we need to go in a mood of service and in the sequence that our Guru Varga has given that. I will not go in detail of this because this is a big thing and there's not so much time. But it's very important that we know, like, we need to engage in Kirtan, Smaran, but Krama, Vidi, Anushari, according how our Guru Varga has given it. There is a reason why they give enough things, and if we follow things, like when you want to do a recipe, if you put things very nicely as they tell them, it comes out very nicely. But if you put it in a different order or in a different quantities or it goes wrong, So we need to go very much according to what our Guru Varga gave as example. They, in their own life, they live it and they establish the idea for us, and they give us also the process. We need to follow what they are giving us. We don't need to speculate anything. We just need to fully surrender and just follow what they give us. So you can go up. So, but this chanting and remembering, using our mind and our tongue in remembering and chanting about the name, form, past and qualities of the Lord, where while residing in the Dham, Braje Kori Vasa, like by residing in Braj, and then Raga Nuga Hoya, and I will like becoming a Raganuga, Actually, and here's something that is very important. Raganuga Bhakta means someone who is following this path of Raganuga. And here there is a qualification for Raganuga. There is so many misconceptions of what actually is Raganuga, but only when we will develop this very strong greed, when this lova very strongly we're there, then we are actually qualified to go to Raganuga Bhakti. So we need to take our own pulse, and because if I am trying to be in a platform where I am not, instead of helping my spiritual life, I'm just like going far. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in one of his songs, he says, so nicely, he says, as this Vidhi Marga Ratana Jane, Swadhinata Ratna Dane, Raganuga Korila Pravesh. So when we will be following
Korano Pravesh, sorry.
Corona Pravesh. So when we will be following very nicely this Vaidhi Bhakti in the way that is being given to us with the aspiration to go to Raganuga Bhakti, we will follow this very nicely, very properly, then the Lord will mercifully give us this Swadhinata Ratna, and He will give us this jewel of independence, and He, by His mercy, will be able to enter properly to this path of Raganuga. So we aspire for that, and this is something that it should be very clear in our heart. This is our aspiration, but also it's very important that we act according to our qualification. And then, because if we do things properly, like when we were seeing Niyamagraha, like if I follow what I'm qualified for, then this assures me that I can go to the next step. So, Smarana Kirtana Koro, then I will be able, I will be engaged, because same, this verse is like actually our aspiration. When I will be able to be in Braj, like being actually a Raganuga Bhakti, when I already developed that Ruchi Nam, and I'm already full of eagerness that we already saw from the previous verse, and then I will be fully engaged in Smaran Kirtan. Any kila kala karaho japana. So I will be, and all the time I will be engaged in this chanting of Nam. Upadeśāmṛta dharo. We should accept or hold this as the essence of all instruction. So this is our aspiration, when we will be able to be fully immersed in the name, form, past, and qualities of the Lord, like with full heart, chanting and remembering, and then in Braj, totally having with the properly established in Raganuga Bhakti, fully absorbing this, constantly chanting. This is the essence of all instruction. But really, if we want to come here, we need to follow everything else that was before, because otherwise it will just be something fake. So now you can go to this last. Actually, there is Yeah, there's many things up here, but we'll just, so Ha Rupa Gosai, Doye Kari Kave, Dive Dina Brajabas. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying, no? I say, oh Srila Rupa Goswami, no? Daya Kari Kave, when you will be merciful with me, no? And which mercy he's asking for, no? Dive Dina Brajavas, like to this Dine, to this very fallen Jiva, when you will give me this Brajavas, this residence in Braj. No? And resident in Braj for us, like Gurudev will explain, is actually residing in the Braj, in the Dham, is actually to be in the association of Vaishnavas. No? So when I will be able to be in the Dham, fully under the guidance of like someone who is fully in your line, no? Someone who is totally a Rupanuga Vaishnava, when you will give me that mercy. Ragatmika to me, you are a Ragatmik Chan, no? In one way, Rupa Goswami is a very close, dear associate of Mahaprabhu, but he's also Srila Rupa Manjari. No? Tava Pada Anuga, when like fully according, like following your steps, Hoite Dashera Ash, like my hope, my desire, my biggest desire, and this is, we are aspiring to become Rupanuga. So this verse is very, this like part of the song is very valuable for us. So like my very deep wish, my hope, my biggest desire is that of this servant is somehow that I can follow in your steps, like fully, you know, and then by your mercy I can be in the Dham, in the association of those who are fully under your guidance. When you, oh Rupa Goswami, when you will give me that mercy, because in that way I will be able to fully be immersed in what, knowing this, constantly chanting and remembering about the name, form, pastimes of Upadeśāmṛta and Krishna. So yeah, the teachings of Upadeśāmṛta are so valuable in our life. I feel very thankful to somehow giving this chance of trying to, because like I feel this is really our life. So try to go deeper in this, or even try to share it. This is something so valuable for us. So I'm very thankful, and I'm sorry if anything I say is wrong, or if I take so much time. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know if yeah. Anything. Pranam. And there's one
Thank
more
you,
thing is that
Mañjulālī
I
Didi.
hope one day we can
Oh,
actually follow
yes.
this.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
So there's a bit of a lag. That's why like I would do something on my computer and it would happen like a couple seconds later. And so that's why it seems like I was going slower. But I have an internet problem right now. But thank you so much, Mañjulālī Didi. This was very. These songs are so important and so helpful for us. And so, yeah, the more we can sing them and go deep into them and understand the meaning of all the words, and it makes such it can make such a huge difference in our practice because this is what gives us this gives us some hope of actually accessing these verses of Rupa Goswami, these songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Otherwise, the verses of these Upadeśāmṛta verses are there, but they, it's like, how do I actually, like, they almost seem like out of reach, but Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs are like, like pathways to the song so that we could actually, get something from the song. So, and like a direct prayer to Krishna so that I can, apply this in my life. So, it's so yeah. Thank you so much for going through these songs with us, and yeah,
something.
I
Yeah.
and we will end here. I'll just do a short Mahamantra, and also Mañjulālī Didi, you didn't actually go over time. I started so late, so it's been now 1 minute 29. Yeah, so you're actually right on time. So all right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gaur Gadadhar Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jai Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Sapashachi Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai, Jai Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. These beautiful Upadeśāmṛta songs that he wrote Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupa Goswami's Upadeśāmṛta Ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashaja Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams Nari Hari Prabhu Bhavatarani Mataji, Rukmini Didi, Mañjulālī Didi, Sarveshwari Mataji, Champak Mataji. Let's see on YouTube and Facebook. I see there are 7 devotees watching. I only see comments from 2 devotees though. So pranams Nandini Didi and Ganga Mataji, and I'm guessing Raseshwari Mataji and Indira Mataji are there, and all the devotees watching in the future like Shachi Devi, Jaydev Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Ananda Pradayani Didi, Anuradha Mataji, and Vrinda Didi. Dandavat pranams. Thank you so much for joining and for staying all the way to the end. And tomorrow we will be going through tomorrow we're gonna fit in a lot of songs, like I don't know, something like I think 30 songs or something, more than 30 songs. But I think what we'll do is we're just going to read them just so that you, and then after Gaur Purnima time, then we can go through all these songs without having to rush through them. Like, that was a lot to get through 5 songs in just one session. I mean, really, it's, like, we could easily spend an hour on every single song. So Mañjulālī did a great job of fitting so much into such a short amount of time. But after Gaur Purnima time, then we can do everything in a relaxed way. We don't need to rush through anything. So yeah, tomorrow will be Upadesh and Upalabdhi. Those are the 2 first sections of Kalyana Kalpataru. And then the next 2 days will be Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs on the 12 verses or 11 verses of Mana Shiksha. He wrote a beautiful song on each verse of Mana Shiksha. So that will also be a 2-day program, going through those Mana Shiksha songs. So, all right. Is there anything anybody wants to mention before we end the stream for today? Yes, Sarveshwari Mataji, yes.
Just I wanted to ask you, Mañjulālī Dasi, regarding Yamaraj, when we commit offenses, what's the system of punishment? Because if somebody make offenses out of bad habits, like in the process of practice, still bad habits going. So how is the system of punishment? Does it give us chance, or how is because we are under guidance, but still offenses, bad habits, avidya, everything that's still there in the practice stage. So how is Yamaraj deal with this?
I actually, the only thing I can say about that is like when anything is considered, it's very much considered what is the mood. If someone is like having a very bad intention and very bad, then the result becomes much more stronger. But if someone is like doing it and it's like out of like a bad habit, or like even like if they repent about that, or like then what it's come is totally different. It's very much about how is our conscious in that, how is our inside part in relation to that. Two persons can be doing the same thing, but if like someone is doing it with very malice, then the result will be really bad. And someone is doing like out of like, because they're so much used to that and they're feeling so bad because I have done it. And I'm like, then the Lord, because the Lord knows our heart, He knows our like what is our motives inside. So, and they consider things because what is external is never so much. Of course, it has a lot of weight, but the biggest weight is what is inside. So I think, but which punishment will give, I have no idea. I don't know, but
I think you also mentioned Mañjulālī Didi, right? Like the punishment also, when you were talking about that point, you're mentioning this bhog vritti will come, right?
yeah,
Like that's
that's the
suffering from
biggest thing.
like suffering in like, any other kind of external suffering, getting sick or having to go to hellish planets or whatever. But the worst, the biggest kind of thing is like the most detrimental kind of thing is when we don't have access to Nam or to the association of Vaishnavas. We get this in our and then like that's the worst kind of punishment possible is when Krishna is further away and being able to access.
Yeah.
Right, the sadhu sangha, right? Yes, sangha.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But it's still like, that's why like this mood of lamentation should always be in us, like like I'm so sorry, and I like so, because the Lord sees that in us. Like we are conditioned jivas. Like if you're going to hospital, you will find diseased people, that's for sure, But if the Lord is seeing that we are trying so much to be careful, and we are trying, Vaishnavas now, they seeing what is in our heart. So if they see we are been trying our best, even though we make mistakes, but we are trying our best, they will be very merciful. So very much is how it's inside us.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you to all of you. Yeah.
Problems all day today, so sorry about that. I just got kicked off, but yeah. All right, so it is now very late, and so thank you for staying for so long, everybody. And hopefully, hopefully your question, Sabeshwari Mataji, is that okay? Yeah, okay. And Dandavat pranams, everybody. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna.